And of course, wouldn't you know it, the moment I said that, it came back. So now we have our Bible bot, right? And so we can say, listen, I'm an AI designer to help you better understand the Bible. So then I can say, I don't know, who was Moses? And then, this is an example of a question that somebody might ask. And so here, it's basically going and searching our version of the Bible, sending this question that I have here over to GPT-4, and then we're generating an answer, and we'll see what that looks like. Moses is a central figure, right? The Hebrew Bible knows the Old Testament according to the biblical narrative. We're giving an answer. Notice it comes back with citations. And then if you click these, you can basically see here, we're basically just give them a reference to that particular page number where we're describing Moses from the Bible and how we made it. And then you'll notice it's also speaking this whole answer.
Moses is a central figure in the Hebrew Bible. Also,
and if I don't particularly like that voice, you can just go down to the voice settings and change that, right, to any of the Google voices, and we offer voices from 11 Labs and others. The part that's interesting, right, is, as we said, is what happens if I want to basically have a picture? And so I can basically go ahead here and I can say, well, I have my handy dandy picture that I took of a Bible shot, which is, really just the front. I'll show you this picture. This is the first page of Moses called Genesis. And so if you just then ask this question of like, help me understand this passage. Now what it's going to do is we're basically then taking both the question that they've got and then we're running an OCR, in this case through the Azure Form Recognizer, and we're basically understanding everything in terms of the text, the title, and everything on that page, and then using that to really craft the question. And so if you wait a second here, while we wait for this to come back. And so, the passage is here for the book of Genesis, the first book in the Bible is part of this, particular section. And so then it just gives me the key breakdowns. And then you can ask interesting questions like, could you describe this to me as if I were a child, right? Oh, who's, 10, same age, my kid. And then, it will then, like all good LLMs, go ahead and reformulate that. And I'll get back a new answer. And then the one other thing I would say here is, this isn't just limited to English. So even though the source documents are in English here, we do a great job of allowing folks to leverage really all of the best models that exist out there from both private and public sources. And so in terms of models. So if I want to say, well, I really want to target my, Bible bot here for folks that, speak, say, Hindi, right? I can basically just come down to here and I say, well, the target language is now Hindi. And then if I hit resubmit, it's basically now assuming that, that any message we come in here, and I'll do it here, it's like if I say again, then it will then generate and create a Hindi response to this rather than an English language response. So again, it's going back, it's querying the database, which is the Bible in this case, it's creating the citations, it's remembering the previous context of our conversation, and then it'll give us an answer here. And then the one last thing that I think we can do, that I'll show you at the end of all of this, and so you can see we're basically giving the same answer now in Hindi, and you'll notice the audio piece is also in Hindi. So if I play this here,
आपने जो अंश साझा किया है वो उत्पत्ति की पुस्तक.
And this is then really powerful because you'll notice that if you go over to Gooey.ai/speech, we support all of the best speech recognition engines from Azure, from Microsoft, from Google, from OpenAI as well. And this is so if somebody sends an audio clip via WhatsApp, we can understand them quite well. And then additionally, we support a whole big range of audio engines that basically output speaker as well. So Google text-to-speech, all of the 11 Labs pieces, and yeah, so, and all of these basically push the audio out. And so this allows us to basically support, in short, many different voices, which are high quality voices here. I will once again stop the video and then show you basically how this then gets hooked up inside of WhatsApp.